I gotta look at the camera with this. Don't mix business and pleasure, Slim.
Boom, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we are here with rap legend, businessman E, formerly Young E from LIKEBLOOD. I mean, they did everything in the area from, being on 106 in Park to MTV jams, songs on the charts. Y'all the shit.
I appreciate you.
You know what I'm
Slim.
saying?
Hey,
Definitely.
Appreciate the recognition, for real.
Absolutely, and glad that you're here with us today, man. What's going on with you?
Man, working, man. Just put out my album, Can't Deny My Hustle, my final album.
Hell yeah.
I'm on my dad life, you know what I'm saying? Raising my little 2-year-old, man, Kiso. And yeah, just, man, running it up, you know what I'm saying?
You know, just tapping in, listening to your last album, I want to say something about that. Like, when I listened to it, man, I could just hear that same hunger, that same drive that you had all those years ago.
Man, appreciate that, Slim.
Yeah, man, it's amazing. Is this really your last album?
Man, this my final joint, man. Like, the reason it's my last album is because, you know, it took me a little longer to put it out than I intended because I had my son. So it's like it been like 6 years in between this album and my last album, Relentless.
Right.
And, you know, I put out Mr. Jazzy Life album, My Life, My Way, in 21, and we dropped the deluxe in 23. But I had planned on putting this one out before that. So,
Yeah.
you know, the time and my focus is more on building the studio.
Yeah.
Precision Studio, you know what I'm saying? We
Yes.
opened that up a couple years ago. So my focus is about to shift more into the studio and signing new artists, signing new younger artists, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to get my story out one more time, finish my trilogy, you know what I'm saying? Can't Deny My Hustle is a trilogy from the previous two albums was Odds Against Me, then it was Relentless, and now it's Can't Deny My Hustle. So
Got you.
yeah, man. I'm hanging it up out of this one. You know what I'm saying? Unless that joint do something crazy and y'all want some more, I'll give y'all some more. You know what I'm saying?
You never know, man. I mean, like I said, you still got that same hunger, that same energy.
Hey.
So, you know, I think it's a lot of youngers out here that will have some time keeping up with you. So,
Man,
you
I
know,
appreciate
never
that,
say
man.
never, because, you know, I may throw you a track and be like, yo.
Man, you already know. You know how we do when we get on tracks.
Hell
you know what I'm saying?
Hell yes. Definitely. But yeah, man. But that's what's up, bro. So going back to like artist management and stuff like that, is there any perspectives out there, anybody that you're looking at managing, or any new acts that you got coming out
So
up on you?
I just signed a new artist, the LIKEBLOOD NT, named Counting Up Kenyo. We signed him, what was that, last year? Signed him, and we put out his first single on the label called No Smoke, Counting Up Kenyo, featuring me. We put the video out, put that joint on Revolt TV.
Nice.
He working on his album. It's called Counting Me Out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And he got other music already on streaming platforms and all that. So yeah, go look at Count Up Kenyo. That's our first artist that we gonna focus on. And I got my eye on a couple other youngins, you know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
yeah, man. You know, CEO had his own, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Hey.
Definitely. Now, I know you and your brother did a lot of work together as well. And he was y'all were into boxing and stuff too. Is that still a thing?
You said, who's that?
Your brother, right?
Yeah, my brother. Yeah. Coach C. Yeah, man. My brother was like our role manager when we had our deal. We had a deal with a management company called So Blue, and yeah, my brother now his focus is on his gym.
Gotcha.
He's had a gym called Hard Training Club. That joint been open for almost I believe a decade now. You know what I'm saying? So, and he trained a lot of celebrities, city celebrities, you know what I'm saying? All different ethnicities and stuff. I get in there sometime, you know what I'm saying? I'll be having my spurts where I'm in there consistent.
Yeah.
And then I might fall off. Man, I ain't going today. I go Thursday. You know what I'm saying? I'll make it next week. And then I fall off all the way. But I'm trying to work myself then to get back in there consistently. But
absolutely.
Yeah, man, bro actually came up with the name Like Blood when we started the group because me and Mbea, we was the first two in the group.
Right.
And we would call each other cousins.
Yeah.
So, you know, we run around the city and yeah, that's my cousin. But we had other names for the group. And one day my brother just was like, man, yeah, y'all call each other cousins, man. I'm gonna call y'all Like Blood because we really carried it like blood. Like, you know what I'm saying? We hang with each other, families, all that. So, yeah, man, that's where the name came from. So,
What's up?
Yeah.
Damn, thank you for that. Because I never knew. And I always liked that name.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, damn, like, I was like, fuck. I remember when
mean
we had,
like family, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Hey.
I remember hearing, like, you know, when we had Cool Mind, and I was just like, damn, and I heard your name, Like Blood, I was like, damn.
Yeah. Man, it's
like,
crazy because the name mean like family, but when we would go on tour, we started going on tours in different cities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, certain cities is on the west, not even just on the west, but down south, it's, you know, a lot of gangs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a lot of cities have taken in Bloods and Crips, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we called Like Blood, people was thinking that we was Bloods, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember, I think we was in either North Carolina or South Carolina, we was doing a show. And we did a show at this club, and the club was full of Crips. You know what I'm saying? Like, we called Like Blood, so they was asking that, well, nah, we from DC, ain't no Bloods and Crips in DC, it's all hoods.
Right.
So from that moment, I had changed the logo to be blue, even though it's called Like Blood. The logo is in the words are in blue, so it's like Blood, but the word's blue. So yeah, this ain't no blood, it ain't no Crip.
Right.
Yeah, it was family, you know what I'm saying?
Damn, I never even thought about that. Like, damn.
Hey, man, Joe, we was in this club, it was a whole Crip club, Joe. Like, yeah, but everything was smooth, you know what I'm saying? They was rocking with the music when we performed. Everything, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. That's just so interesting how y'all came up with that name and all the discrepancies with, you know what I'm saying, with gang ties and shit.
Man. That's not nothing we thought about when we was just running around the city and, you know what I'm saying, performing at open mics in the city and all that. Once we actually started touring across the country, we started, you know what I'm saying, that was something we had to acknowledge, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, these other cities be deep with the gang culture.
Yeah,
you know
I can imagine. I can definitely imagine. So you brought up your relationship with Mbea, and when did y'all meet Dre? Like, how did Dre come in?
Me and Mbea met at Duke Ellington. We both went to Duke Ellington High School, you know what I'm saying? So he was in the acting department, I was in the visual arts department. And Dre is also one of the main members, you know what I'm saying, too. Me and Dre knew each other since middle school. We went to Hardy, so we all went to schools outside of our neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? Like, me and Dre from uptown and Mbea from southeast. But our folks had sent us to schools on the other side of town because it's like, I know me personally, my neighborhood schools, my neighborhood middle school was Paul uptown, and then Coolidge would have been my high school. So I don't believe I probably would have, you know, graduated if I went to my neighborhood schools because they was like, man, you know what I'm saying? A lot of my friends didn't graduate, you know what I'm saying? So my pops sent me to school on the other side of town to Hardy, and that's where I met Dre. And then I wanted to go to Duke because of me drawing. You know what I'm saying? Being a visual artist. So that's where I met Mbaya. Now, me and Mbaya actually started the group together.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But the first album we did was called We All Alone. Dre was on that album too, on the feature. And that's how the group started. You know what I'm saying? Like when my brother came up with the name, and yeah, man, that was history. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So yeah, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So sticking with that. So Blue. How did that all come about? Because I know you said your brother had a lot of influence with that.
So the way we got with them was actually I forgot to mention that our second album, before we even got with So Blue, it was me and Bayer and Mr. Jazzy Life. His name was Hot Rod at the time.
Gotcha.
And we did that second album, and songs from that album, one of them called Drop. Like Dre was working on this script of this film with So Blue.
Gotcha.
So Blue was making the script. He wrote some of the script with So Blue for Jazz in the Diamond District.
Right.
As the film that they was working on. So Dre being involved with that, they heard some of our music and they wanted to use some of our music in the soundtrack. You know what I'm saying? That's how. So then they wanted to use some of our music in the soundtrack, which Drop was one of them, and a couple other songs we did. And we started having meetings with them. They wanted to get UCB in the film.
Yeah.
I had personal relationship with a couple of the members. Rock Mikey. I think Mikey was incarcerated when we first started the meetings and the talks. But I had went to a UCB show and linked up with Trey.
Gotcha.
And told Trey, you know what I'm saying? Like Trey was during the halftime. He was, yeah, what's up, E? Woo woo. I'm like, yeah, man, my folks trying to get y'all in the movie, man. Let me know if I can chop. Yeah, I know y'all playing. Let me know if I can chop it up. Man, Trey was like, movie? Like, he wanted to talk right then. So I broke, you know what I'm saying? I let him know what's going on and connected him with So Blue, and they brought the band in. So we started doing the script readings and all of that, and started working on the soundtrack. And like right before the film came out, that's when Mikey got out. You know what I'm saying? They was working with, right in that era, it was like they had just put out Sexy Lady too. And Sexy Lady was all over the place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the city. So they did a deal with Kenny Burns. So, and Kenny was like, Kenny was a producer at the start of the film. He was one of the producers. And so he had just signed Wale as well.
Right.
So Wale was on the set. And basically, when we started making the film, we acted in it. You know what I'm saying? Like Dre was the man, he was the lead mic of the band. Us, LIKEBLOOD, and UCB were the band together. The band was called District Legend Band.
Right.
DLB. The film was about a girl named Jazz who joins the Go-Go Band. And Wood Harris and Clifton Powell in the film.
Yep.
Wood Harris played Gabe, which was the manager of the band.
Yeah. And
Clifton Powell played Jazz's father. So we did the film, did the soundtrack. Chucky Thompson did the soundtrack. He had Best Kept Secret under him in the streets. And we went to his studio. You know, he played us beats. We picked beats. We recorded the soundtrack in his studio. And after we recorded the soundtrack and did the film, that's when So Blue approached us to sign a deal with them, a management deal, to continue our business because, you know, the film, they liked what we did in the film, you know what I'm saying? So we signed a management contract with them, and put out the soundtrack. The film came out. We started the tour. One of the first songs off the soundtrack was called "Like Us," and that's the first video that hit MTV Jams. You know what I'm saying? So "Like Us" was on MTV Jams. It was on KYS. You know what I'm saying? That was our first major look, national look. You know what I'm saying? It was hilarious too, because we had some people from the DMV that was like, we came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Who was them? Who came out of nowhere? Man, they ain't even know we was in the damn bar none, pure open mics.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't come out of nowhere. We was in bar none when Raheem Devon and them was in bar none. You know what I'm saying?
Remember.
So yeah, we had been we catching the bus, train, passing out our CD. We put in footwork. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but it's like everybody got hip to us at that point once that video hit MTV Jams. You know what I'm saying?
And I remember, I believe, because we were. I think y'all invited us to the shoot.
Yeah, y'all was in the video.
Yeah, we was in the video and everything. We had the little cameo and everything.
Cool minds with it, because I already had a relationship with BJ because BJ is my man Nate from Round My Way cousin.
Right.
That's how me and BJ met. So BJ would be up top Round My Way with Nate, and we would chop it up about music all the time. You know what I'm saying? Right. He would be talking about how he got shit moving on y'all side.
Exactly.
And we was talking about what we was doing on our side. Yeah. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, man, y'all got to come to the video. You know what I'm saying? Y'all in the joint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
I remember, and there's some footage on YouTube, and where we're in like behind the scenes, and we just waiting. You can see like it was just that pandemonium and just craziness and just like excitement that we were like, yo, this shit is real. Man, that's what the guy was saying off camera. Like
we were feeling
real.
Video is still on YouTube, but I can't find the behind the scenes footage for nothing. I know somebody got it.
But
I can't find it. But yeah, that joint, because they had shut down Quincy Street around Rock Creek. So Blue had. They shut down the block and built the stage in the middle of the block. So it's like we had the whole creek out there. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? A bunch of other people from different neighborhoods uptown. And y'all came through, bunch of people came through that joint. That joint was it, man.
It's crazy. Now, as crazy as that one was, I just watched it again last night, and it's probably been about, damn, I can't believe it said
you watched
15 years. I watched, what's the name of that joint? The joint I did with Bobby Valentino.
Okay, yeah.
Nothing but legends.
Man.
Nothing but legends in
that
that whole video.
That man.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody came out to this.
Everybody.
So before we did the Bobby V joint, we had put another joint out called Red Carpet from the soundtrack.
Yes.
Red Carpet was the first one we put that went to 106 and Pop.
Got you.
That's the joint I got the footage of that I just, you know what I'm saying? I had just did an interview with DMV Hoods and News, and he asked about that. So I have the footage of that one. We did that joint, but the Money Over Here joint,
here we go.
We went to Atlanta. Our manager, G. Baker, he was another one that worked for So Blue. He had the plugs, because G. Baker worked in the industry. He worked with like Tommy Mottola.
Yeah.
He worked on Jeezy, TM 101. Like, his resume crazy.
Yes.
I just seen an interview he had posted a couple weeks ago of Tank. It was Tank and I think Case. And Case was talking about how to touch me, tease me. G. Baker pushed that joint in the city.
Damn, I didn't know
that. He convinced Case. Case was talking about how he was a church singer, and G convinced him to do R&B, and the Touch Me, Tease Me joint was a record he pushed for him. So G had the industry plug. So he took us down to Atlanta to work on the Money Over Here joint. How that happened, we did a session. He had a relationship with Coach K. Yeah. Now, Coach K was managing Jeezy, but when we went down there, he just had started managing Gucci.
Right.
And he also had Mike Will made it on his producer squad. He had Shorty Red.
Yep.
He had Nitty Beats. All these dudes came to the studio to play us beats. You know what I'm saying? And the beat we picked for Money Over Here was made by dudes named The Council. That was also, they was all in the studio. Mike Will played us beats. Nitty Beats played us beats. Shorty Red played us beats.
Damn.
I ain't even going to lie. I feel like Nitty, no disrespect, Nitty and Shorty Red probably played us like they C or D pack of beats. You know what I'm saying? They ain't give us that A pack.
Right.
Mike Will was hungry. Mike Will played us that crank. And The Council, they was hungry.
Yeah.
So Shorty Red and Nitty already had hits out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nitty Beats did the Young Jock Is Going Down joint.
Right.
And Shorty Red got Endless Jeezy joints.
Of course.
So I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like there was, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Play them the D-Pack. Mike Will brought out that crank. So we got one record from him called Roller Coaster.
Gotcha.
That joint on my third album, Relentless. It's on streaming platforms right now.
Gotcha.
And The Council played us the beat for Money Over Here. And one of the producers made the hook. We wrote our verses right then. Dropped that joint. The session of that session is on YouTube too.
Yeah. I saw that.
So yeah, they did the beat. We did our verses. Had the hook. So we was talking, and G decided to we was talking about either Chris Brown or Bobby V. He chose Bobby V for that joint because we had another song called Curious that had a hook on it that we thought Chris Brown would fit more with.
Right.
So we intended on getting Chris Brown on that joint, but we put Bobby V on the Money Over Here hook. So he came to the studio, did the hook. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that joint brought it back up here. DJ Quicksilver was spinning that joint crazy. Yeah. All the DJs in the city spinning it crazy. It started spinning nationally. That became our highest charting record. It peaked at like 45 on Urban Media Base. It almost cracked the top 40, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Would it hit Billboard if it cracked the top 40.
Right.
So yeah, that's how that joint went.
That was
You know what I'm
amazing.
saying?
That was amazing. Like I said, that gave a lot of niggas in the city hope. You know what I'm saying? It gave a lot of niggas in the city hope.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That this can happen. Because
that video shoot, all the everybody.
You had Judah there, the DJ.
Man,
you had like everybody.
All the
there.
DJ, Quicksilver and them was there.
Yep.
Judah on the beat. All the rappers, Don Juan, Oi Boys and them was there. Gavi and them was there.
Yep.
Man, everybody was there. You know what I'm saying? So that ended up being our second video that was on 106 and Park. You know what I'm saying? So
Dope.
Yeah, man.
Legendary shit, bro.
Yo.
Complete legends. I mean, just hearing those stories and the names you put up, you know, G. Baker, Chucky Thompson, like all these are like legends in the area.
Man,
you know what I'm
Chucky was, of course, we looked up to him because he worked with Biggie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was responsible for most of Biggie's biggest records. Big Papa, Faith stuff, I mean, yeah. So Chucky been a legend. So getting the opportunity to work with him is stuff of dreams, man. Rest in peace, Chucky Thompson, man.
Rest in peace. R.I.P. for damn sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want to ask this. So because it did come to a point after like y'all put out all those records, it kind of felt like, and I could be wrong, but what happened with the group Like Blood? Did y'all fall out? Did y'all go separate? Because it's like most groups, people go their separate ways.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened there?
So what happened with basically, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be 100% real. What happened with So Blue? We had the label meetings with the A&R from Universal Records. We met Sylvia Rome, Sylvia Rome was the CEO of Universal Records at that time. She's CEO of one of the other joints now. I can't remember which one now, like Epic or something.
Yeah.
And then we had the meeting at Jive, Battery Jive, and met the CEO there, and he was the most curious to signing us. From what I understand, the reason that deal didn't go through is because one of our other managers, Neil was the CEO of Jive. He wanted, we sat in the meeting with him, played him music.
Yeah.
He was rocking with the music. He was like, send me some music so I can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can marinate on it pretty much.
Right.
From what I understand, she had sent him a link to the music instead of like sending MP3s and stuff.
Got you.
So this link was like, you can only listen to the music on the link.
Got you.
So from what I understand, he took offense to that. Like it came off like she thought he would take the music or something like that. That's
okay.
Somebody else who worked for Jive had explained that to G. G, I hope I hope this okay for me to say, but I'm just keeping it 100. This guy that worked for Neil told G that yeah, y'all ain't send him the music, and he felt offended by that.
Right.
So that's why that deal didn't go through with Jive. That was the closest one that was interested in signing us. After that, we had been working on our album because we put the soundtrack out for the film. The film was out. We had a couple singles out, 106 and Pop, MTV Jams, records charting. We working on our album.
Yeah.
With So Blue. This is the first time I'm telling you the actual story.
Gotcha.
Me and the other manager, me and her were in a relationship.
Oh shit.
So we were in a relationship to the point, she was pregnant and everything. Ended up having an abortion. It wasn't the time for that.
Yeah.
Me and her working together became a lot of personal things, like mixing business and pleasure wasn't the best decision.
Gotcha.
Like we had a lot of similar plans for the group, but at the same time, when our personal relationship would have issues, it would always like kind of be like, yeah, I'm doing this for y'all business-wise. So it's like, and this is how I feel about how our relationship went. I feel like it couldn't really, our personal relationship couldn't really be separated from the business part.
Yeah.
So it's like she felt a little hierarchy because of the business, but I'm a man though, like,
yeah.
So I'm not gonna, in our personal relationship, it's not like I'm gonna tuck my tail as a man,
right?
Because we doing this business over here.
Absolutely,
man. It was one point with the film. I be skipping over all these details in other interviews, but I'm giving you the full thing.
I appreciate it,
man. it was one point in our relationship we got into so much beef that I said, take me out this right before the film came out, Jazz and the Diamond District came out. I'm like, man, take me out the movie, take all my music out the movie.
Damn.
and the main songs, the songs that were in the film that UCB did besides Sexy Lady were remakes of songs that I already had, that Like Blood had.
Right.
These were Like Blood songs. So I'm like, take me out the film and take all the music out the film. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
Yeah. She came over with a Nintendo. What's the Nintendo? It's the
64?
Not the 64. It's the Wii. The Wii had just came out. She bought me a Wii, and it was something else. It was basically like a peace offering, like
right,
like keeping it 100. She had to tuck her tail,
right,
because everything was done.
Right,
everything was the music. The film was set to come out. I had to get everybody to sign the waivers for the music.
Right.
I'm like, take me out of everything. So she kind of had to tuck her tail. Because, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, you're not going to keep disrespecting me like that.
Right, right.
I don't need this shit.
Damn.
Dre laughing like, well, like, he's like, man, I ain't getting to that shit. I ain't getting to that shit. And, yeah, so she came, apologized pretty much. I'm like, all right, cool, woo woo. I swear she ain't gonna forget that. That was the first. Yeah, I know she wanted to get back at me for that.
Damn.
But so fast forward, we end up all the label meetings and all of that stuff. We end up moving to Atlanta after we put out Money Over Here. So we in Atlanta. Man, we was getting so many women, Slim, up here.
I can imagine.
At that time,
Hell
we in Ibiza every Friday.
Yep. I remember though. I remember.
Quick getting us on live on the radio. Man, we had a house, we had a Like Blood estates uptown on Rittenhouse. Man, we getting a lot of women, Slim. Now she wasn't tripping off that.
Yeah.
Because we had ended up breaking up.
Yeah.
Business, you know what I'm saying? We couldn't get on the same page relationship-wise. So we ended up breaking up. A year later, I ended up dealing with this other woman. Now she wasn't, the manager wasn't tripping when it was just random joints.
Right.
I ended up getting in a relationship with this other joint.
Oh shit.
And everybody, this other lady, I ain't going to call her a joint.
Yeah.
Everybody knew but her that I was in this relationship because I was hiding in front of her.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure how she was gonna react to it.
You didn't want to ruffle the feathers.
I ain't want to ruffle the feathers. So but the joint was around. The joint was on Twitter promoting us. So she kind of knew.
Right.
But I never told her directly.
Right.
So we moved to Atlanta. Dre feel like she wanted us to move because of all the women we was getting. You know what I'm saying? We go to Atlanta. There was plans for us to do things in Atlanta. Right. You know what I'm saying? We had already been down there a lot, but we was kind of just sitting for a couple months. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up coming back up here to see my girlfriend at the time. Yeah. Our manager had our email set up. This is how we end up getting dropped from the label. This is the honest truth. Our manager had emails for each one of us set up to our group name. My name was Young E at the time. Email younge at likeblood.com. Yeah. But if you spell it wrong, the email automatically go to her. Oh, shit. So my girlfriend bought me a ticket to come see her back up here. Oh, shit. She spelled the email wrong, Young ELB. because that was my Twitter.
Right.
The email went directly to the manager.
Shit.
So she called a meeting. Yeah, we a regular meeting, Slim. Like all us on the call. Yeah, E, where you? I'm in Atlanta. What you mean? Well, I got this email that say you in DC right now.
I'm going to see my mom. That's what I'm doing.
Like, man, okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, I'm in DC. Woo woo. We end up getting into a big argument.
Shit.
She sent us all the email. Our So Blue relationship with LIKEBLOOD has come to an end.
Damn.
That's how we end up getting dropped.
Fuck.
And me and her had like other little arguments before that. That was the last joint.
Damn.
So we had to move back from Atlanta, move back up here.
Shit.
We had moved out our house up here.
Yeah.
We had a house.
Yeah.
We come back, we don't have no place, you know what I'm saying? So we had to come back to our families, woo-woo. Yeah. I came back over here with my girl. She was going through some situations, so we end up moving in with some of her friends. We sleeping on couches, trying to get our lives back together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And basically, that's when we started to rebuild. We rebranded the label we rebranded the group to be a label. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's where we started over from there. And that's where we started to put solo albums out and try to rebrand ourselves as LIKEBLOOD Entertainment.
Got you.
So that's what happened with So Blue. You know what I'm saying?
From the group version of LIKEBLOOD. That dissolved, and then it turned to the label.
It turned to the label.
Got you.
Know what I'm saying?
Got you. That makes
turned to a label. Now, so I end up getting the LLC. I had to wait because she had the LLC and the trademark. I had to wait for it to expire, and then I went ahead and bought the LLC and the trademark, and I started putting my solo music out.
Yeah.
And Mr. Jazzy Life, he was an original member.
Yeah.
Me and him end up getting back together because I came back home.
Yeah.
Put his albums out. We both putting out projects. And I started buying studio equipment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Once I got on my feet, got my own place, all of that.
Yeah.
I started buying my own studio equipment. And we started putting out our own solo stuff. You know what I'm saying? So,
definitely.
Yeah. That's what happened.
Fucking women, man.
Yeah, man. Hey,
women.
Too younger. I gotta look at the camera with this. Mm-hmm. Don't mix business and pleasure, Slim. Like really. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
I know the company invested it had to be at least $1 million into us. Damn. Before they dropped us. Like the money over here, video itself was 100 racks. And
shit.
I ain't even mention the tour, like we went on tour with Raekwon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We went on the 33-city tour. Capone and Noriega on the tour. Sean Price, rest in peace. Yellow Wolf that ended up signing with Eminem.
Yeah.
Like, we went on this tour. We had so much buzz, man. We knocking at the door. We having label meetings. We on the label's radar. G Baker played our next few singles at the Money Over Here for DJ Quicksilver. Mm-hmm. DJ Quicksilver picked our next single. It was called Me Likey. He was like, this the next one right here. All this happening right when she dropped, you know what I'm saying? So we sitting back like, all that money I invested into her. Because it,
damn.
Man, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Yeah.
Women.
Everybody was wondering what you know what I'm saying? So what's crazy is after that, a lot of people was wondering what happened, but I feel like there was a lot of people that kind of was happy that because we was taking off. I feel like there were certain people that was like, yeah, yeah, y'all fell off type shit. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's always
It's all good. You know
it's a
what I'm
lot
saying?
of
We built
love.
back up.
It's a lot of love in this area in the DMV, but there's also a lot of crabs.
Know
You
how
know
it
what I'm
is,
saying?
man. Crabs, man.
Yeah, that comes with it. You know, the hate comes with that shit.
Yeah.
Because they don't look at it as if one gets on,
Exactly.
we all get
on. Exactly. And we was showing as much love we can. We was inviting everybody to our videos.
Yeah.
We was doing everything we can to show that we are about the DMV scene. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, but it is what it is.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro. So I do want to go back a little bit. Tell me about, like, you know, your how was it growing up? You know, and what brought you to music?
Okay, so growing up, I grew up in Northwest Uptown. I was born in GW Hospital, so I'm real live, born and raised in DC.
That's where I was born.
My folks, my parents, they met at Howard, so we lived on S Street in Leroy Park before they got divorced. You know what I'm saying? Me and my brother, we ran that joint fighting every day. It was like some. The funniest thing is like it was some brothers that lived on our same block. It was me and my brother, but there was three of them. It was two older brothers that was older than him and a younger brother that was older than me. So we fighting them every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, one of them pushed me down the steps and I cut my head. It's on one of these sides. I end up having to get stitches, but me and him fighting, he pushed me down the steps. My brother come whoop him. His two brothers get on them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we fighting them every day. There was some other fights with some other little youngers around there, but we love being around that joint. You know what I'm saying? But once my folks divorced, my pops moved up Shepherd Park up top, and my mother moved over Hawaii Avenue in Northeast. So we going back and forth weekly. They sharing custody.
Yeah.
With my mother 1 week, my father 1 week. You know what I'm saying? So the way I got into music, I went to Shepherd Elementary. My pops was actually he actually did music. He wrote for the Reddings. Yeah. The Otis Redding's sons had a group. Otis Redding's sons had a group called The Reddings. And my pops was one of their writers. And they had, their biggest song was called Remote Control. That joint peaked at number 11 on Billboard. Wow. So I always have a joke with him because our highest charting record was 45 on urban radio. Right. But he cracked Billboard, you know what I'm saying? And his highest chart record was 11 on Billboard. So I always be like, man, I still gotta beat your record, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
What he told me, why he didn't continue music, I think this what he said, the Reddings ended up getting overshadowed by Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was like, it's Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like that, and my mother got pregnant with my older brother. I believe those are the two reasons he spoke to me about why he didn't continue music. And he ended up focusing on his business. He's a business owner that he owns his own consulting firm.
Got you.
But him being in the music, it was in my genes, you know what I'm saying? So in third grade, me, Mr. Jazzy Life, Hot Rizzle, we in the same grade together, and two of my other men, I think it was my man Dunn and somebody else. We looked. This when Crisscross was out. Jump. Yep. Man, we like, oh, them little youngers, they blowing up. So we got a tape recorder. We asked the school, we asked the front office, can we borrow a tape recorder? and record some songs on the joint.
Yeah.
One of us would be beating on it, and we wrote our lyrics, and we would be rapping, you know what I'm saying? And we'd do talent shows at the school and all that, you know what I'm saying? So that's how we first got into doing music. I also drew, so I got sidetracked from that, was doing comic books and all of that, but once we became teenagers, we started doing it again. That's when I had met Dre, and I met Mbaya, and we formed a group, you know what I'm saying, LIKEBLOOD, and we started going to the studio recording. We recorded our first album in 01. And we recorded the We All Alone in 01. That was our first album. Then the second album, my man, Mr. Jazzy Life, came back in the group. He was in Ocean City. That's why he wasn't in the first album. But when he got back, we did the second album called Put the City on Our Back.
Gotcha.
And Put the City on Our Back, we had the whole neighborhood supporting us, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Niggas getting money, man. We end up, the first studio we went to was a good studio, but the second album, we went to this joint out Bethesda.
Got you.
Had niggas getting money, was investing in that joint. We did a real live album, Slim.
Nice.
Then our first big show was with Wildlife Kingdom and Boobie and the Young Farmers.
Yeah.
We the youngest looking up to them. Like, man, Wildlife uptown was, man, Wildlife almost, T and Scrap. T almost got signed to No Limit because they had Fiend and Mr. Servon on their album.
Right.
So No Limit almost signed them. So they was crushing it, man.
Right.
And they, you know what I'm saying? Back then, 7th Street, 7th and Kennedy, they had the Dro. This when the Dro first was pumping.
Yeah.
So niggas slide through 7th Street, get them a motherfucking bag, and they give you the Wildlife Kingdom CD with it.
I remember that
so
shit.
They was crushing them, Slim.
Yeah.
And then Boobie and them on the south side, the Farmers, man, that was classic, man. 2 classic albums, Slim. We put our album out right around that time. Passing out CD, we hitting all the shows, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, basically that's how we, you know what I'm saying? I know that was a long-winded, but that's how I got into music pretty much. You know
Bro, that is amazing. And the funny thing of it is, our paths are kind of similar because I saw Crisscross as a kid, and that's what made me want to rap. To the point where my ass was like, I was flipping my clothes backwards, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be in a group. We gonna call ourselves Mitch Match."
Oh yeah,
yeah. It was like Mitch Match, and then I met up with BJ, and BJ was like, "Yeah, we need to call ourselves Terrorist of Rage." That was the name. I was like, "Terrorist."
Called what?
Terrorist of Rage. BJ came up with that.
Name.
I was like, "Yo, that's some dope shit." You know, that was our first little rap group. You know?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's crazy though. But damn, dog, that's amazing. The fact that it's in your genes like that, and your father had a record.
Yeah,
and dude, I heard
actually had success in the music industry.
That's amazing. That's
yeah,
amazing.
Man.
So wrapping up, I do want to make sure everybody know about Can't Deny My Hustle. Amazing project. I've been rocking that shit all week.
I appreciate it, man.
Definitely.
That's love, man. I put my foot in this one, you know what I'm saying? This might be my most, well, between this and Relentless, I was in my most steady place in my life to be able to focus as much as I wanted on the album as much as I wanted, because I had my own studio and all of that.
Yeah.
When we first got dropped and we came back home, my first album, The Resume, I did put that together with scraps. You know what I'm saying? Like, my man had a studio. He had the Pro Tools up in the building up top around my way. Man, can I come in there and record? I would go to Gutter Music. That joint wasn't mixed as good as it could have been.
Yeah.
But everybody still rocked with it. Odds Against Me, I was able to put a little more money into it because I had got my own apartment. You know, the Odds Against Me was a little more focused. Yeah. But Relentless and my new album, Can't Deny My Hustle, I had my own studio. So I had total control of how much time and all of that. In this one, I took my time, Slim. I put my foot in this joint, man. This might be my most personal. You know what I'm saying? I put out a single called Big Dog and a couple other singles, but I had this single called Get Through It. And man, Joe, I'm talking about some of the darkest moments in my life on that joint. So yeah, this the one, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I said I had to put this out before I retired. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, man.
I think you got like 5 more in you for real.
Man, Joe.
You got a couple more in you.
I got music to drop. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I feel like at this point I'm trying to focus on the next generation.
Yeah.
And my knowledge and my connections to put a young, you know what I'm saying, one of the youngers on, you know what I'm saying, and do it the right way based on the mistakes I learned, you know what I'm saying, to do it the right way, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, man. But
that's what's
I'm about to I ain't done pumping it though. I'm gonna shoot a video for like every song on the joint.
That's what's up.
And yeah. So I ain't done yet till this joint finish promo, you know what I'm saying?
That premiere party look live as shit. That shit was lit.
What's that?
The premiere party that you did in
Oh
December.
yeah, man. Motherfucker, dang, hold on. What did I do for the premiere party? Oh, my birthday joint and premiere party with UCB. Man, UCB, man, yeah. I did that joint, V12 Lounge. Man, they hit Not Like Us at the go-go version. Man, UCB crazy, man. Man, them niggas is crazy, Snap. I love them niggas to death, man. And speaking of which, Mr. Jazzy Life, Do Your Dance song from his album, My Life, My Way, we did the go-go remix of that joint with UCB. So that joint about to drop. And that joint, that joint gonna do something crazy. You know
UCB, another legend in the DMV. Another legendary band. That's
man,
like
Joe, man. But that's Backyard Band and UCB, my favorite band, and then CCB.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I was in the junkyard back in the day. I was in the junkyard back in the day.
Yeah,
I like
Junk was a little before my time, but I love Junk too because we did a lot of work with KC.
Yeah.
KC from Junk did a whole lot of songs with us. But when I was young, as my brother had the junkyard tapes.
Yeah.
And us being uptown, we was on back. And I remember him talking about how everybody, man, you listening to Junk from the South Side. Man, we on back uptown, man.
Right.
Man, Junk crank, Slim. Like right here in Alphabet. So I would be listening to them from his tapes, you know what I'm saying? And the NEG Splash Party joints. She had the Splash Party tapes. I'd be watching them joints like, yeah, damn, man. Them joints would be butt naked. The girls would be butt naked in them joints.
They was wild.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
I remember the Persuco hoes and all that shit.
Man, Joe. Yeah.
Craziness. Bruh, so before we go, also, man, just want to say, appreciate you coming out here and doing this.
Man, you know, we family, Slim. We've been working together for, man.
Bruh,
most of both our careers, you know what I'm saying? We've been working together. We've been like, us, like Blood, Cool Man, been locked in since damn near the start of both our careers. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. And I mean, that's the thing. I've had this idea of doing this for like 5 years. Like 5 years ago, like when right before the pandemic hit, I was damn. And I just kept, life happened, marriage, all that shit. And then I was like, nah, this year I gotta make it done. I gotta do it. We gotta do it.
Yeah.
So I would once again want to thank you for being here and doing this.
Man, appreciate you.
Anything else you want to promote? Any business endeavors or anything like that?
Man, I'm promoting, man, Like Blood NT, Precision Studio. Follow the Like Blood page because I just turned that into a media page, like a blog. You know what I'm saying? So the Like Blood Instagram page. That's going. My vision for that is that's not gonna be like a Revolt TV or you know what I'm saying, like a network. But I'm starting it with the with the page, because what happened, my idea for that was because I would be posting all like blood content on that page.
Yeah.
And I got it up to like maybe 1,200 followers, but I'd be more focused on my personal page.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get that joint to move, you know what I'm saying, to grow. So one day I'm just looking at all these blog pages, and my man Hoods and News was definitely an inspiration.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, I'm gonna start posting, talking about, because I always like talking about hip hop.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying, debates, hip hop debates, like barbershop debates and shit.
Exactly.
So I just started promoting music and talking about hip hop debates on that joint. Was able to grow that joint by posting content of the music industry, grow that joint to about 2,000, 2,300.
Yeah.
And my man Hoods and News reached out like, man, you got a lot of good content on the page, man. Just start, if you want to grow the platform, just start collabing with me on shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, man, appreciate that, because, you know what I'm saying, he up like 200K at that point. So I'm like, start collabing with him.
Yeah.
That joint ran it up like maybe another 2,000. And then just recently at the Super Bowl, I'm covering the Super Bowl, Kendrick Lamar, Drake beef.
Yeah.
The battle, I'm covering the whole battle. Once I put the Super Bowl shit on there, man, the Serena Williams post, and there's another post, a mile going crazy about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Them joints they went viral. Like the Serena Williams post got like 5 million views.
Damn.
And the other, it was that joint, and what's the second? No, it was another post that of somebody trolling Drake with the Squabble Up song in Australia. That joint got like 4 million views. And my page ran up to like 6,000 after that.
Damn.
Now the joint just I'm just getting endless followers every day.
Wow.
And we up to like 8,000 now. So it's like the joint just constantly growing now.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I'm a
smart
journalist now too. So yeah, that
Hell
and
yeah.
Precision Studio. We about to grand reopen that at the end of the year. We had it open for like 3 years. The building we was in wasn't really 420 friendly, so we ended up having to move out of that joint. But we had like some of the top artists in there. We had Q the Fool coming there record.
Nice.
We had Gleesh in there record.
Nice.
Who else we had in that joint? We had Mob Ish in that joint. Nike Nando. Nintendo.
Gotcha.
Who else we had in that joint, man? We had a lot of big dog. BDR, Oi Boys was in that joint.
Nice.
We had a lot of big dogs in that joint. Hoods and News came through that joint. Stinky Dink, One Track Mind. Like, we recorded a lot. We had a lot of big dogs in that in Precision Studio. So when we reopen, we gonna take that joint to another level, Slim.
Got you.
So yeah, follow LIKEBLOOD NT on Instagram and follow Precision Studio, spelled with a Z. Precision spelled with a Z instead of an S on Instagram, man.
Definitely.
Man, I appreciate you having me, Slim.
Bro, appreciate you for doing this and just being here. And I mean, dude, this is probably going to be the first one on the channel. So this is going to be amazing.
That's what's up, man. Yeah,
this is going to be
I'm
amazing.
glad to be a part of it, Slim.
So we got, I filmed you. We got Rayshawn. We did her as well. But yeah, this is going to be amazing, bro.
Man, that's what's
Once
up,
again,
Slim.
thank you so much, bro.
Let's get it.